Funniest animal moments. Watch this dog's reaction to meeting an insect for the very first time. It's like, nope, I'm not doing that again. When these guys were celebrating a birthday outside, this monkey swooped in out of nowhere and stole their entire cake. Can you really blame him though? These chimps have made best friends with a turtle, feeding it fruit and just chilling in the sun. See, even chimps need pets. When dog food was spilled, this family put their dog in another room to be able to clean it up. But this dog found a solution to be able to steal some treats from under the door. Watch this bull's impressive defense in a pickup game of basketball. He'd fit right in with the actual Chicago Bulls. Just don't let him dribble. This dog decided to hop off this boat early to try and race. It's actually crazy he can run fast enough to be able to keep up with the boat. Which clip was your favorite?
Hello students, today we're going to continue our series about cognitive dissonance and hypocrisy as it applies to those who are fearful of the animal rights movement. This young lady here wrote to me as a teacher and asked me my opinion about whether she was going to go to heaven if she kept on eating animals after she knew about the rape, torture, confinement, and exploitation that they go through. I suggested to her that no, she would not be going to heaven. Heaven is for good people. Following that, John Robert Bell decided to defend her and said, "Don't worry, sweetie, you're going to go to heaven anyway." To which she responded, "Oh, thank you so much, John. I feel so much better now." These, my dear students, are examples of people who are in severe cognitive dissonance. They both know that they are not going to heaven if they keep on paying for the murder and exploitation of innocent animals, and they are in full 100% denial. Hi Iris, it's Miss Katie here, that vegan teacher. I just wanted to take a moment to talk to you directly. I know that you look up to John Robert Bell because he does do a lot of good. I've told him that. There is one major flaw that he has though. He has not taken the time to learn about how the animals are actually treated. I've looked over your profile. You and I have a lot in common. You say that you're pansexual. I get it. You are also a musician. So am I. You're also somebody who seems interested to learn. So am I. So I encourage you to look at all the documentaries that I'm going to post here. Please take the time and don't be afraid to change your mind about where you are right now. Your heart is in the right place for the animals. I saw your guinea pigs. I welcome you to come to our side. You are meant to be vegan.
We know that vegans don't consume eggs, but what about eggs from backyard chickens? Why would that be a problem? After all, these hens live a good life, right? These are questions vegans encounter all the time, and at first, they seem reasonable. After all, most of the problems associated with egg production don't exist with eggs from backyard hens. So what would the problem be? The first thing to consider is where the hens have come from. If they have been bought from a farmer or a breeder, then by buying hens, we are still contributing to the problems associated with commercial egg production, such as the male chicks being killed at birth, normally through being macerated or being gassed, and the other hens who are instead used or sold into commercial egg production being killed in slaughterhouses after only 18 months. However, if we adopt hens from farms or slaughterhouses and rescue them from these places, then what could possibly be the problem?
second. I've got to move Goliath and Captain Kazoo up to the north barn because it's going to be really yucky tomorrow and I don't want to try to move him in a blizzard. Oh, I got him, big guy. Oh, no, no, oh, goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. I know. It's okay, we're just going to go right here. Just chill, Sylvester, be calm. Don't let this slip. I know. Is it the big house? I'm going to give you a big house. This is Goliath. No! That's not what I want to happen. Oh, labor of love.
It is strange, isn't it, Jasper? I mean, most of us are brought up thinking that milk is good for us. I know I was. It took me a while to let that whole thing sink in about the dairy industry. But once you know better... I know, it's sad, isn't it, Taylor? That people just really don't understand what happens in the dairy industry. How did you find out? I found out by watching all kinds of little videos, like Dairy is Scary on YouTube. I also watched Gary Yourofsky's speech. You know, he has a speech called The Most Famous Speech or The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear or something like that. And it really is an amazing speech where he talks at a university. I also watched Cowspiracy. But yeah, even as a teacher in school, I mean, we are supposed to teach that dairy is good for kids. It's crazy. It's no wonder nobody understands all these images of happy cows in the pastures. They're all lies. So many lies. Please educate yourselves, guys, and watch those videos and follow Taylor. She's a great activist. Taylor, thank you again so much for all your work. I know it's hard for a lot of people to understand why I bring the subject of religion into my animal rights activism. And the best way for me to explain that is that I'm interested in the truth and in exposing lies. Now, if we admit that there are lies that these industries tell us, the egg industries, the meat industries, and the dairy industries, I think we also need to look at religion. I mean, it is 2020. It is time for adults to really look at what is the truth and what is science. And why is it that adults are not believing in science? And why is our society not becoming kinder and more compassionate? And especially members of the religious community, who you would think would be the most kind. All religious people should be vegan. So why aren't they? That's a very interesting question, and I like to explore it. I hope you will too. This is for my students who are suffering right now from Vistopia, the agony of being vegan in a non-vegan world. I understand you perfectly. I know that everywhere you go, you see death and suffering. Every sign that you drive by, when you see a fast food restaurant, every menu that has the names of dead body parts on it. Every time beside you in school, you see somebody eating flesh or body secretions of an animal and you know where it came from. It is normal, totally normal for you to feel sad and to cry every day. It's not your fault. You are not the crazy one. Right now we are only about 1% of the world, and it is normal that our comment sections are filled with hatred because people are just not there yet. But we are the leaders. Stay with me. Don't give up. I care about you and